Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I do hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to the bonus upload that gets us right up to tonight's live stream, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday Nightmares, live from New York. Before we jump into this upload, though, a couple quick links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely do matter and are appreciated. And now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to this night-ending bonus upload, shall we? The following information was released by Jefferson Souza, a contactee who has repeated encounters with Vega-Lyrians, who, according to Souza, are similar in appearance to the dark-skinned Orients of India. Souza also claims contacts with Scandinavian-appearing humans from Luma or Wolf 424, the Umo people. Both cultures utilize a huge Federation base located within the vast system of caverns deep beneath Death Valley, the Panamint mountain region of California. In fact, several Federation groups utilize the base, according to Souza, which contains whole areas specifically conditioned with the various gravitational, atmospheric, and environmental conditions necessary to meet the needs of the various Federation visitors and dignitaries. The Puhu Indians of the Southwest claim that a Greek or Egyptian-like race first colonized the massive caverns within the Panamint Mountains thousands of years ago. One source claims the base was established around 2500 BC, which is incidentally about 600 years following the beginnings of the rise of Egyptian intellectual culture, when Death Valley was part of an island sea connected to the Pacific Ocean. When the sea dried up, these people, who were described as wearing flowing robes draped over one shoulder, headbands holding back their long dark hair, and bronze golden skin, out of necessity began to develop their collective knowledge and intellect, and soon after began to construct silvery flying canoes. At first these flying machines possessed wings, were relatively small, and flew with a dipping movement and a loud whirring noise. As time passed, the ships became wingless, grew larger in size, and flew ever more smoothly and silently. Eventually these people, the Have-Musvas, moved their civilization into still deeper caverns, which they had discovered further underground, and commenced to explore the nearby planets and eventually other star systems as their own technology explosion began to refine every aspect of their society. These Have-Musvas have apparently had interplanetary or interstellar travel for 3,000 to 4,000 years since they first developed their flying machines. Could they have been one of the many native Terrarian ancient astronaut civilizations which apparently colonized Lyra and other systems? The story of the Panamint was related by a Navajo Indian by the name of Ogamake, who in turn heard it from an old Pehut medicine man. What about Souza's reference to the vegans, who are similar in appearance to East Indians? I believe that India is a major key to understanding our planet's lost history. The ancient Vedic text speaks of flying ships called venemas, as well as nuclear technology, which was utilized by the ancients there. Hinduism itself arrived in India as a result of the pre-Nordic Aryan invasion from the north, the Gobi region. Some researchers insist that the Mayans and Egyptians were originally navigators from India, possibly explaining the similarity in their architecture and their advances in medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and so on. Swiss ethnoarchaeologist Yves Node also quotes that ancient Indian text, which states that the leaders of ancient India later collaborated with a secretive Grecian intellectual societies in the development of aerial ships. So then the Havmuvas may have been representatives of any one of these cultures, the Nordic Aryans, East Indians, Egyptians, Mayans, Greeks, or a combination of cultures. However, one thing is certain, only a very small portion of the true history of the planet Earth, as of this writing, can be found in a standard historical textbook. Jefferson Souza claims that the following revelations are from the personal notes and scientific diaries of a scientist who was commissioned by the United States government over a period of several years to visit all crash sites, interrogate captured alien life form, and analyze all data gathered from that endeavor. Eventually, this person was discovered to have kept and maintained personal notes on his discoveries and was therefore scheduled for termination, not just job termination, which he narrowly escaped. Following 33 years of investigations, he went into hiding. The Blue Planet Project. Alien Technical Research 25, Westchester Camp Office of Central Research No. 3, Alien Life Forms Code Aramis 3, ADR3-24SM, Section The Dulce Base Code JB3. The following material comes from people who know the Dulce underground base exists. They are people who worked in the labs, abductees taken to the base, people who were assisted in the construction, intelligence personnel, NSA, CIA, etc., and some specific UFO inner Earth researchers. This information is meant for those who are seriously interested in the Dulce base. For your own protection, be advised to use caution while investigating this complex and ongoing investigation made by JB3, code SR24.3B7. Whose planet is this? These specific aliens, gray or reptoids, consider themselves native Terrians. They are of an ancient race, descendants of the reptilian humanoid species. They are untrustworthy, manipulator, mercenary agents from another extraterrestrial culture, the Draco, who are returning to Earth, which was their ancient outpost before the coming of the original Uniterrestrials, to try to use it as a staging area, which is not easy at all because it causes all the other 170 different alien species to want a share of the metagene secrets. But these alien cultures are in conflict over whose agenda will be followed for this planet. All the while, mind control is being used to keep the humans in place, artificially of course, especially since the 40s. The Dulce complex is a joint U.S. government and alien base. It was not the first one built with the aliens, and others are located in Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, Alaska, etc. The Navajo Dam is a main source for conventional electric power, with the second source in Elvada, which is also an underground entrance to the Dulce base. Note, if RAND is the mother of think tanks, then the Ford Foundation must be considered the father. RAND's secrecy is not confined to reports, but on occasion extends to conferences and meetings. On page 645 of the Project RAND Proceedings of the Deep Underground Construction Symposium of March of 1959, we read, Just as airplanes, ships, and automobiles have given man mastery of the surface of the earth, tunnel boring machines will give him access to a subterranean world. They built the same type of subterranean tunnels at the ultra-top secret moon and Mars bases as well. Many of these underground cities are complete with streets, sidewalks, lakes, small electrical cars, buildings, offices, and shopping malls. Deep sections of the Dulce complex connect to natural cavern systems. A person who worked at the base, CR-24 ZM35-File 4, who had an Ultra 7B clearance, reports the following. There may be more than 7 levels, but I only know of 7. Most of the aliens are on levels 5, 6, and 7. Alien housing is on level 5. Trans-American underground sub-shuttle systems, overt and covert research within Dolce, as the U.S. Energy Secretary John Harrington named the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory and New Mexico's Los Alamos National Laboratory to house new advanced genetic research centers as part of the project to decipher the human genome. The genome holds the genetically coded instructions that guide the transformation of a single cell, a fertilized egg, into a biological being. The Human Genome Project may well have been the greatest direct impact on humanity of any scientific initiative before us today, said David Shirley, director of the Berkeley Laboratory. Covertly, this research has been going on for years at Dolce. Level 6 at Dolce is privately called Nightmare Hall. It holds the genetic labs, reports from workers, CR24ZM52-files 7 who have seen bizarre experimentations are as follows. I have seen multi-legged humans that look half human, half octopus, also reptilian humans and furry creatures that have hands like humans and cry like a baby. It mimics human words and also huge mixtures of lizard and humans in cages. There are fish, seals, birds, and mice that can barely be considered those species. There are several cages and vats of winged humanoids, grotesque bat-like creatures, about 3.5 to 7 feet tall, gargoyle-like beings, and draco-reptoids. Level 7 is the worst, row after row of several humans and humanoids, hundreds, perhaps thousands, in cold storage. Here, too, are embryo storage and storage vats of humanoids in various stages of development. Notes: 1. Human and animal abductions for their blood and other parts slowed in the mid-'80s when the Livermore Berkeley labs began production of artificial blood for Dolce and its sister complexes. 2. About the confrontation. Human and aliens at Dolce. 82 people were killed between scientists and the National Recon Group, the Delta Group, which is responsible for security at all alien-connected projects. Also, there were hundreds of other wounded people and 132 dead aliens. The Dolce facility is the most well-known place where this joint interaction activity occurs, although there are at least another 26 bases within the United States that have similar facilities. In the book, ETs and UFOs, They Need Us, We Don't Need Them, was an original idea for one title, but not my personal choice. By Virgin Posty Armstrong, he reports how his friends Bob and Sharon stopped for a night in Dolce and went out to dinner. They overheard some local residents openly and voicefully discussing extraterrestrial abductions of the townspeople for purposes of experimentation. The ETs were taking unwilling human guinea pigs from the general populace of Dolce and implanting devices in their heads and bodies. The townspeople were frightened and angry, but didn't feel they had any recourse since the ETs had our government's knowledge and approval. Code SR24 AK.5. Several Dolce residents are not naturally from this area. Single people and even couples with children have just come to the town of Dolce since 1948. Generations of frozen agents occupied the suspect positions, work in gas stations, drugstores, bars, restaurants. They are there to listen and report anything which violates their limit of secrecy. Always in the town of Dulce, you never know who is who. Dulce Base is run by a board. The chairman of this board is John Harrington. Jim Baker of Tennessee is the NSA, CIA link to Dulce. House Speaker Jim Wright of Dallas, Texas, the nation's third highest office, is the treasurer at Dulce. There is currently a power struggle going on, as Representative William Thompson, Republican of California, put it. Part of Jim Wright's problem is he fails to understand what is fair. It's an arrogance of power, even among his fellow Democrats. Many find Wright to be uncomfortable. Wright's operating style leaves him vulnerable. Most meetings of the Dulce boards are held in Denver, Colorado, and Teos, New Mexico. Former New Mexican Senator Harrison Schmitt, publicly known as the last man on the moon, has full knowledge of Dulce. He was one of the 7 astronauts to tour the base. In 1979, he held an animal mutilation conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This was used to locate researchers and determine what they had learned about the links between the mute operations and the alien/government deals. Senator Bryan of Nevada knows about the ultra secrets of Dreamland and Dulce. So do many others in this government. This is what the UFO researchers are up against, so be careful. They have killed to keep this information secret, and by reading this document, you now have more than they want you to know. After all, the fascist group within this country had killed John F. Kennedy, and they got away with it. Look at the links within the larger umbrella, the web of the fascist, totalitarian secret police state. Within the Pentagon, JCS, DIA, Division 5 of the FBI, DISC, DIS, and CIA. Other information contained in Blue Planet Project manuscript includes information on various secret government projects, including the following: the MAJI, Majestic Agency of Joint Intelligence Project; Sigma, initial project involved with attempts to establish communication with alien intelligence; Plato, responsible for establishing diplomatic relations with aliens. This project secured the formal treaty illegal under the United States Constitution with the alien Greys; Aquarius, concerned with investigating the history of the alien presence on Earth and interaction with human beings. An outgrowth of this project is a huge thesaurus-like document called Yellow Book, describing aliens, their history in regards to humanity and technology. Garnet, a project responsible for control of all information and documents regarding the alien subjects and accountability of their information and documents. Pluto, project responsible for evaluating all UFO and IAC identified alien craft information pertaining to space technology. Pounce, a project that was formed to recover all downed and or crashed crafts and aliens and provide cover stories and operations to mask the true endeavors whenever necessary, i.e. such as cover stories of crashed experimental aircraft, construction, mining activities, etc. NRO, National Recon Organization, based at Fort Carson, Colorado, responsible via Delta Forces for security on all alien or alien spacecraft and underground base projects. Delta, the special arm of NRO, which is especially trained and tasked with security of all magic projects. MAJI or MAJIC oversee MJ-12, also codenamed Men in Black. The Delta Force are trained to provide alien tasked projects and Luna-based security. Blue Team, the first project responsible for reaction and or recovery of downed and or crashed alien craft and or aliens. This was the United States Air Force Material Command Project, also synonymous with Alpha Team crash retrieval projects. Sign, The second project responsible for collection of intelligence and determining whether alien presence constituted a threat to the United States national security, aborted the Blue Team project. This was the United States Air Force and CIA's project. Red Light project involving the test flying and back engineering of recovered alien craft at Area 51, Groom Lake, Dreamland, Nevada. UFO sightings of craft accompanied by black unmarked helicopters are Project Red Light assists. Snowbird, established as a cover for Project Red Light, this project is activated from time to time when it is necessary to provide cover stories for red light operations, etc., by releasing information on advanced conventional military aircraft which are used to explain unexplained UFO sightings. Blue Book, a U.S. Air Force UFO and alien intelligence collection and disinformation project. This project was terminated and its collected information and duties were absorbed by Project Aquarius. A classified report named Grudge/Blue Book Report Number 13 is the only significant information derived from the project, and other than information from second-hand sources, is unavailable to the public. Reports number 1 through 12 and number 14 are available to the public. The Grudge/Blue Book Report Number 13 mentions that many military government personnel and civilians have been terminated, murder without due process of law, when they had attempted to reveal the alien interaction with the secret government. Some of the Magi, or MAJI, secret weapons against the aliens include Gabriel, a project to develop high-frequency pulsed sound-generating weapons that would be effective against alien craft and beam weapons. The project also involves working with high-frequency microwaves. Joshua, the development of low-frequency pulsed sound-generating weapons. This weapon was developed and assembled at LIG Temco Vaught in Anaheim, California. It was described as being able to totally level any man-made structure from a distance of 2 miles. It was tested at White Sands Proving Grounds and developed between 75 and 78. It is a long-horn-shaped device connected to a computer and amplifiers. The project also involves low-frequency and microwave projection. Excalibur. This is a weapon designed to destroy alien underground bases, developed and funded mostly by intelligence branches connected to the U.S. Navy and SDI projects, who have rejected any further interaction with the Greys after they turned on us during the Groom Massacre and Dulce Wars. Some patriotic elements of Majestic 12 and the MIC military-industrial complex support this agenda of resistance, whereas other elements tied in with the corporate imperialists of the international banking community support continued collaboration for purposes of acquiring further mind control tech for their New World Order. Excalibur is a missile capable of penetrating 1,000 meters of TOFA hard packed soil, such as is found in New Mexico, with no operational damage resulting. The missile apogee is not to exceed 30,000 feet above ground level. The impact must not deviate in excess of 50 meters from designated target. The device carries a 1 to 10 ton The device carries a 1 to 10 megaton nuclear warhead. The secret of the self-contained missile drill, a vertical shaft over 1,000 meters deep, consists on a energo-synthesizer microwave deflector in a missile warhead. Majestic, or Magic, has 5 other major weapons to be used against the aliens. However, little of any of the information is available. Also, from the same report, we find the following information on reptoid alien forms. An average male's height is 2 meters. A female is 1.4 meters. Average weight, 200 kilos for a male. Female, 100 kilos. Body temperature, male ambient temp, female ambient temp. Pulse, respiration, male 40-10, female 40-10. Blood pressure, 80/50 for a male, female 80/50. Life expectancy, male 60 Earth years, female 23 Earth years. Cold-blooded, like all reptiles, the reptoid is found to flourish in a warm tropical climate, normally artificial big caves, with imperfect respiration, providing just enough oxygen to supply tissues and maintain the processing of food and combustion. Their temperature can be raised only a few degrees above the ambient. This suggests that heat weapons like flamethrowers and so on may prove to be nearly immediately effective and fatal to this subject under battle conditions. The reproductive system is ovoviviparous, with eggs hatching in the oviduct prior to birth. The underdeveloped reptoid for faster activities, physical activities, cerebellum results in a slowness and simplicity of movement. The reptoid eye is composed of thousands of microscopic facets, each facet with its own independent protective lid. The eye is almost never closed entirely during waking hours. Rather, sections of the organ are shut down in conjunction with the dominant light source. The reptilians survived hidden inside the earth within big cave systems. Information on insectoids. Average height, male 1.6 meters, female 1.2 meters. This is the master race. Average height for servient race, 1.1 meters for male, female 1.1 meters. Average weight for the master race, male 70 kilos, female 40 kilos. Average weight for the servant race, male 35 kilos, female 35 kilos. Body temperature, male 110/2, female 110/2. Life expectancy, male 130 years, Earth years, female 130 Earth years. The insectoid retina is composed entirely of tone-sensitive rods and is incapable of discrimination between different wavelengths of light. Therefore, the addition of color to insectoids' vision is accomplished by dual antennae which, in addition to being auditory receptors, are made up of a complex network of wavelength-sensitive cones. Owing to the highly directional nature of the antenna, the corona of vision is perceived by the subject in the tones of gray. Because of this correlation of 4 independent light receptive organs, insectoid vision can be correctly termed quadrosopic, resulting in relatively superior depth perception. Insectoid auditory capabilities are highly developed. The insectoids are capable of distinguishing from among a wider range of audio frequencies than is normal to humanoids. Because of a monodirectional antennae, insectoids, most of which have been observed in the form of giant mantis, locust, or grasshopper-type entities, usually listen with their head tilted slightly downward. They also have a limited exoskeleton. More alien races mentioned in the secret report. Type A is the wriggle or the gray. The type B is the reticula or a gray. Type C, reticula 2 or gray. Type D, Orion or Nordic. Type E, Barnard star, the orange. Information on the reptilian gray. Luna 1 is the Rigelin or gray base on the far side of the moon. It includes a base, a mining operation using a very large machine, and very large alien crafts or carrier ships. Wave Nest is the Rigelin base in the Atlantic Ocean and includes an underwater alien base, mining, and big cigar-shaped crafts. Rigelins made contact with certain members of the military-industrial complex, corporate or secret government, from 47 to 71. The government thought the Greys meant us no harm, but in 1982 and 88, the picture that emerged was exactly the opposite. The story now is one of great deception, that several levels the Gray's Trojan horse-style manipulation and lying involved magic forces, MJ-12. The inner core of the CIA and NSA is deeply controlled by the Greys, working under instructions of aliens from Rigel. The CIA and former Nazi scientists had developed a deployed malignant strains of bacteria and viruses, including AIDS, in order to exterminate undesirable elements of the human population. Information on the Nordic races. Average height, male, 2 meters, female, 1.7 meters. Average weight, male, 90 kilos, female, 70 kilos. Body temp, 98.6 for the male, female, 98.6. Pulse and respiration, 72.5/16 for the male, 72.5/21 for the female. Blood pressure, 120/80 for the male, female, 80/50. Life expectancy, male, 60 Earth years, female, 23 Earth years. Information on the orange. Average height, male, 1.7 meters, female, 2 meters. Average weight, male, 70 kilos, female, 50 kilos. Body temperature, male, 91 degrees Fahrenheit, female, 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Pulse/respiration, male, 242/61, female, 242/61. Blood pressure, male, 80/40, female, 80/40. We're going to close this section by quoting one more installment of the Blue Planet Project. The metagene factor. The metagene is a biological variant lying dormant in select members of the human race. That's a energochemica in response to adverse stimuli. A chromosomal combustion takes place as the metagene takes a source of biostress, be it chemical, radioactive, or whatever it turns the potential energy response into a catalyst for genetic change. The main focus of the catalyst power in a gland in the middle of the human brain is called the pineal gland, and the nutrient for increasing the pineal's action is adrenaline. The metagene factor gives the ability of psionic power. The main interest of the aliens, especially the Greys, is to understand and control the metagene for their own race. They try to do this by using biological experiments to make hybrids from both human and aliens. They believe perhaps the men of planet Earth are the deadliest creatures in the universe, because only the Earth people are apparently capable of generating a metagene factor, which means natural psionic ability, real power. The principal races in the universe are psychologically the same. The pure cold logic is a normal order to most important races. Basic sameness makes for predictability and security. The enemy one knows are the ones who can guard against. This is not the case with unpredictable mankind. While most are uniformly human, some, many more apparently than anyone had dreamed, possess a latent tendency towards superhumanity, natural psionic abilities. That in itself could prove dangerous for any idea of alien domination on Earth, by coupling mankind's inherent belligerence with the fact of the metagene effect. Each human is unique, and Earth becomes a spawning ground for an unpredictable super race. If we have the chance, others have already demonstrated an awareness of man's potential throughout human history. This is because the aliens are here to try and control Earthlings before we dominate them, and they want our most important secret, the metagene factor, which is the aliens' only hope. Alright guys, right there, that is unbelievable. I mean, we've talked about Dulce, we've talked about some crazy stuff on this channel, but right here, what I just shared with you is key. This stuff is key, important. We know now why they are here. They are here because they want to control us before we can kick their ass. I never thought we'd be able to kick alien ass. I mean, really, look how powerful they are. They can go from one side of the universe to the other. We're just stuck here driving Teslas and gas-powered vehicles thinking we're great. But apparently we have some sort of unharnessable power, which is cool if you think about it. Nightmare Hall is a place that I am fascinated with because I believe that a lot of what people see out in like the desert area, in Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, I believe have escaped from Nightmare Hall possibly, or let out purposely. Just to see what would happen if there was a mass escape, or just to see what would happen in general. Very interesting to think about, though. Furry creatures that mimic babies. Huh. We talk about that daily on this channel. I'm not just talking Dogman. I'm talking, I believe in every episode I talk about some sort of creature that mimics babies or mimics the sound of a human. I mean, these things are real. And they've been here for a long friggin' time. Just because we are now, over the last 40, 50 years, learning about these things, they've been here for a lot longer than we can even imagine. Which is so crazy. So crazy. And if these things are living under the ground, under our frickin' crust of this beautiful planet we call Earth, and we are up here thinking we are, the greatest thing since, I don't know, I'm not even going to say sliced bread because that's gross. The greatest thing since Wagyu beef. What are they? They were here before we were. They've escaped, come back. I mean, these creatures under the earth in these caverns are so powerful, yet they fear us. And this is all, this document that I just shared with you is from a United States intelligence worker. Dulce and Secret Files of a United States intelligence worker. His name is Jefferson Souza. And the stuff that we talked about today is amazing. Amazing. I mean, if you just think about one, right when I started reading this to you guys, the one sentence in the very beginning, Souza also claims contacts with Scandinavian appearing humans from Luma or Wolf 424, the Omo people. Wolf 424. What? Humans tend to name things because they remind us of something, or something is there that reminds us of that name. So is that saying this is a planet of wolves, or a planet of possibly upright walking wolves? Who knows? And there you have it, folks. I hope you all enjoyed the night ending bonus. I hope to see you all at the live stream. I'd like to thank you for supporting the channel. It is your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and our friends. These creatures are real. They are out there and dangerous. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.